outside noise is blocked.
Yeah, I got to a point in my life, I didn't pray to God to ask for something. I only prayed to God to thank God.
Like sometimes, like just praying is just asking God for that peace of mind.
Growing up it's been like
Yeah.
that. You go to church.
Church,
like,
yeah.
It was really prayerful moment, but sometimes I forget. But God knows in my heart
Yeah.
that yes, I'm really grateful to
Don't
Him.
forget to pray. Even if you don't know how to pray, you can read like a Bible verse, like which I have been doing a lot when I'm about to start on a new journey, like something different.
Yeah.
I always pray to God.
He needs to clear that space before that thing comes in, because otherwise it won't last.
Yeah. So it's starting to feel so comfortable in this place. He's like, no,
No,
baby, I'm calling you for that venture. And that is the
Turn all your complaints to gratitude.
yes. Trust is the only thing that he always requires from us. So,
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the 2H podcast. My name is Harriet.
and I'm Henrietta. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share, and also comment.
Thank you guys.
Yay! Thank you guys for supporting the channel.
We're grateful.
And we love you guys too, okay?
We do. Okay, girls. So how was your week in general?
Well, it's been amazing. Actually, this week I was having a hard time. You know, I have a community that I join every morning to pray with.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we join.
we
girl.
join. Well, Harriet has not been praying, so just so you know. Yes. So you know, and then I actually started feeling like every Wednesday that we don't pray in the morning, like I start feeling a bit sad. Like when I wake up, which I don't know the reason why. And I've actually been feeling that for the past weeks now. So I started just asking myself questions like, why do I feel this way? Like every single Wednesday, like when we don't pray, because we pray every day, except
literally.
like
On
Wednesdays that
yeah.
we are not, we don't pray. So we join a community that we pray every morning. So that was when I started, you know, asking myself about why am I feeling this way. But otherwise this week has been great. Been to the gym, working, and just taking care of myself as always. Okay,
That's beautiful
yeah.
to hear.
What about you?
Girl, you glowing. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a very good week. Just that close to the weekend my daughter fell sick, so it was a little bit hectic, but by the grace of God everything went fine, everything went great. She's doing better. She's doing better, thank God.
Yeah. Because I realized when I called, she was so quiet. I was like,
she was really. And when Zania is sick, it's easy to notify her because she then get quiet because she's a very busy girl. Otherwise,
very busy with big energy. Okay. yes.
Yeah. So otherwise, it's been an amazing week. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
So you remember the last time we were talking, we were talking about bonding and stuff like that. We talked about prayers, which bonds us
together.
Basically, yes. And I feel like we didn't throw more light on it. So I was thinking we could talk more about it. What do you think like prayer is good for? How is your life without prayer? I mean, basically what prayer is really important for.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be an interesting
I mean, wow. I quite remember, like you mentioned, we talked about it in our previous episode.
Exactly.
Which we are sisters, Harriet and Henrietta, we are sisters, and that's what bond us together. So if you watch our previous episode, we talked about what actually bond us together, and we talked about prayers. And prayer means a lot, honestly. As a child, like growing up together with mom and dad, everything was all about praying. Like even when you will literally ask your mom or your parents anything,
especially our dad,
he would tell us to pray. So prayer means everything. It means a lot to me. But you know, growing up, like when I was young, I knew, like, you know, I believe in prayers. I know, like, okay, when you pray, there's hope somewhere. Like you will get whatever you're asking, you are praying for. So you're definitely gonna get it. But then growing up, like, it has taught me so much. Like, not just because I wanted to ask something from God, but also just wanted to also grateful. Like, you know, God should give me that direction that I need in my life, to strengthen me, to give me that wisdom, and also like just in life in general, just waking up in the morning and alive and being healthy is one of the the things like that's what I'm always like praying to God. Like even before going to bed, I still pray. I still have conversation with God. Yeah.
I really love the part that you said, waking up and feeling healthy. I mean, just waking up. We human beings, we really underrate going to bed and waking up.
Yeah.
There are people who go to bed and never wakes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? So you acknowledging that fact, which we both do, that we know that waking up in the morning is the biggest thing that God has gifted us with to start our day. Because if you don't wake up, how do you start your day?
Exactly.
If you don't wake up, then you mean you're not alive again. You're not part of. So that's one thing that I believe that human beings, we don't really give so much acknowledgement to.
Yeah.
But for me, at a point in my life, you remember I told you, I think I told a lot of quite a lot of people around me that I got to a point in my life I didn't pray to God to ask for something. I only prayed to God to thank God. I didn't even really sit down and pray. My daily activities, me sitting in my car going to work, that moment that you are alone, in my mind all I'm thinking about is, God, I'm grateful. God, thank you. Thank you for everything that I have. Thank you for the things that I have asked that I have not been given.
Okay.
I know that even in that sense, if you ask God for something repeatedly, continuously, and you don't get it, know that it's either not for you or it's not your time. Because when God is giving you something, He's giving you so you'll be able to hold it well, to be able to control it, to be able to be in charge. But when you don't take charges, like you're not in charge of things. God knows that Henrietta, if I give you this car, you won't be able to take care of it. He's going to give you a smaller car. He's not going to give you a bigger car that you won't be able to take care of. So in our life, we've always been praying. Even though when I was when we were children, I believe we didn't understand what prayers were. But we believe that, okay, when you pray, you get what you want. That was all. When you pray, because my dad would listen. You ask my dad, oh, Daddy, my watch is spoiled. Can you buy me a new watch? Pray. You ask your mom, oh, mom, can you buy me this one? That was pray. It was basically that. So we have grown being prayerful, and then we have grown to understand what prayers is for. Basically. I mean, it's the same for you, right?
And I also think like sometimes like just praying is just asking God for that peace of mind, that peace of mind, that happiness. Because sometimes like you're not going through anything, or maybe you might be going through some things, but you're not able to pinpoint the exact situation you are going, but you feel like I'm not happy within myself. I don't have peace within myself. And I remember I have been in that space before, and the only thing that I asked God was like, can you please give me that peace of mind? Like I kept praying to God. I said, God, please give me that peace of mind that I need in order to just be fulfilled. Because I felt like even though I had everything going on right in my life, but I felt like something was missing. I
think everybody has that kind of that point of life. Everybody I have faced it too. You feel like you have everything around you, like you have beautiful stuffs around you. Let's forget about even vanity. You have family who loves you. You have God, but at the same time you just feel like something is missing in you. And I really believe that prayers do answer that, because I have experienced that too. And the only thing I remember I did was to pray. Was to pray to God, what is missing? Because when I look around me in my circle, I don't see anything that is missing. I feel like you have blessed me now, but at this inside of me, something is really missing. And I felt like I needed to search for God more. I needed to be more prayerful. Growing up it's been like that. You go to church. It was really prayerful moment, but at a point in my life, I feel like, oh, my mom is praying for me, my dad is praying. And I feel like my mom is praying for me. I'm just relaxed. My mom is praying for me. She's doing the work. She's doing the God. I'm her daughter. God will listen to her. And definitely God was listening. But it's something special when you can pray yourself.
Yes.
I believe that. And now I have my own family, so I have to pray for my family as well.
Exactly. But how often do you pray?
No, we are, like you said earlier on, we join a community. So we pray every day except on Wednesdays. And even on the Wednesdays, it's not like I don't pray. I do my little prayer to thank God when I wake up. Sometimes I forget, but God knows in my heart that, I'm really grateful to
Don't
him.
forget to pray.
He knows that I'm really grateful to him, and then when I'm going to bed, I do pray as well.
Yeah.
So it is.
And most of the time, one thing that I also realized was, even if you don't know how to pray, you can read like a Bible verse, like, which I have been doing a lot, which is Psalm 23. That is one of my favorites.
Prayers.
Yeah, I don't know, like, people literally say you can read a verse and use, especially with Psalms.
Psalms, Psalms is like
So that's what I have also been doing, and I feel more at peace with myself.
And
so
that's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because at peace with yourself, it makes you be at peace with everybody around you.
Exactly.
I mean, the world in general, you get peace.
Yes.
If there's nothing like peace of mind.
Exactly.
Trust me.
Oh my God, peace of mind. And when you have peace of mind, you have happiness.
You have happiness.
Yes.
I mean, if you have peace of mind, your mind is so peaceful. Everything around you is so peaceful. There's no noise from the left or the right.
Like, the outside noise is blocked. Okay.
You have happiness. Basically, it is what it is.
Yeah. Prayer is everything, honestly. Like, and I also feel like most people also pray to God to ask for wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah. I mean, it's important. It's important you pray to God for wisdom, because you didn't create yourself. And sometimes in life, you can make some mistakes, and the only thing you can do to come out of those mistakes is to ask God for wisdom. Yes, and then with that wisdom, I believe you'll be able to conquer whatever it is. So. It's important that you pray to God for wisdom, other than praying to God for material things, because if you have the wisdom, you can achieve the material things.
Definitely. And I also know, like, for me, I know, like, when I'm about to start on a new journey, like something different, I always pray to God. I think, like, the first person that I go to is God. Or even if I'm about to make a decision, like one of the toughest decisions in my life, like, I pray to him constantly. I'm like, please direct me if this is not the right thing. If you feel like this is not, I'm not going to the right direction, or if you feel like this is not a good decision for me to make, please give me a sign. And one prayer that I noticed that works really fast is when you ask God to take people away from like people who are around you that are not good people. I think God is really fast
when it comes to
to have you.
It's definitely true, because before God can bring something into your life that is for a keep, like for you to keep. You definitely need to go away. If there are people around you that can't help you to keep that thing, he needs to clear that space before that thing comes in, because otherwise it won't last. Otherwise you might not even get whatever it is. So for you to get that, you need that space to be clean, filtered. You understand? And then God can then definitely bless you with whatever you have prayed for, and that he feels like it's good for you.
So just pray, just pray. Prayer is
the key. It doesn't matter whether you're a Christian or Muslim, Buddhism, whatever. Just pray. And I mean we every religion believes in prayers.
So. And I think also praying, it gives you that hope.
Definitely
Hope, knowing that, okay, even though I haven't gotten to the thing that I'm asking God, maybe he hasn't given it to me, but I still have hope. Just praying to him and just, like, waiting on him. Like, it's just like you just praying gives you that hope.
I don't believe everybody has that. I really don't believe that everybody. But for us, let's say we grew up not even understanding what prayers is, but our parents making us understand that, okay, if you pray, you get this. Then it's a different thing, because we had that
from our foundation.
Exactly. But for somebody who is just coming from another angle, maybe from the world or whatever, like, believe, oh God, like, have hope in what?
Why should I have hope?
So I've really encountered somebody like that at my workplace, my old workplace. That was like, she's like, Harriet, everything is like, oh, thank God. Like, when I have a phone call, somebody asks me, oh, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm fine by the grace of God. Why by the grace of God? I was like, for you to even be here today is by the grace of God. How did you know? Who told you? Like, that kind of so that kind of a person, you should know that they believe in themselves and they don't believe that there's hope in any prayers and stuff. and stuff like that. So it takes a lot to have hope.
Yes.
Because sometimes even we Christians,
we lose hope.
Yes, we do lose hope. It gets to a point in your life, you're just like, God, I have prayed for this for years. Why are you not answering me? It took time for me to understand that, honestly, because it got to a point in my life, like way back, that I felt like, God, why are you not listening? Why are you not doing this particular one? You've given me everything that I have asked for. Why that particular one? What is the problem? What's going on? Like, but then for me, I had totally forgotten that God literally wanted to prepare me for whatever it was. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, oh, he has forsaken me. He doesn't care about me anymore. He doesn't want to give me this that I want. But he knew that you were not ready for this.
And I think like what you said, it's like waiting on him.
And
that's the thing about the waiting time. Sometimes and that's one thing that I also felt like sometimes God put us in that uncomfortable situation. Like when he start feeling like, oh, my daughter or my daughter is starting to feel so comfortable in this place, he's like, no, baby, I'm calling you for that venture. And that is the season where God calls you, and that is the things that we least expect because we are like, okay, like literally I have everything together, and then boom, he calls you for that venture, and those are the time that you might lose hope. And that is something that I have been through.
If you don't have faith, if you don't have faith, if your faith is shaken, oh my God. So and I believe that, with prayers, when you are prayerful or when you believe in prayers, you then turn all your complaints to gratitude. Just like you mentioned, you said something like, oh, you lost hope at a point because of what has happened, God, which if you keep on complaining, God, you didn't do this, God, I said I wanted this way, you didn't do, you literally get lost. But then when you replace that complaints to gratitude and believe God has done it, he can do it, he has done it for somebody, why can't you do it for me? You understand? So for me in life, I would just summarize everything that we have said here and said, I have replaced my complaints to gratitude.
I will also want to point on something what you just said about complaining, because like I told you last week, this week actually, I was going through like an emotional, I don't know what to call it, okay? But then I was like, I woke up like, God, I'm praying to you. Like, I know you can do it. I've been talking to you, but why you not listening to me, right? And then I was like, okay, this time I'm not going to pray, but I just want to have a conversation with you.
I think you told me about that,
I said, God, I just want to have a conversation with you. So I pick up my journal, and then I pick like a pen, and then I started like writing to him. I said, but even before when I started like having a conversation with him, I started showing gratitude to him first, because before I start praying, or maybe before any person start to pray, maybe they give thanks.
When you start prayers, you start with
Thanksgiving. I think it's very important. So I started with that, and then I started writing like the conversation, and then after that I read everything aloud. I said, God, I know you are going to do it, but like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I'm waking up, I'm so excited. Like, I look at my home, everything that I have, I'm so excited about. God, I just don't understand why I'm feeling this way. And one thing that I noticed is like, in life, there are some days you wake up feeling sad. There are some days you wake up feeling happy. And so I think in all things, give thanks to God and just
be grateful. Be grateful. Like I said when we started this conversation, for you even waking up, going to bed, not knowing what will happen the next second, and you being up the next morning after 7 to 8, 9 hour, 10 hours sleep, be grateful.
And one thing that I'm so also more grateful, or maybe something that I started doing, was I felt like last year I was able to build my relationship with God. Even though I prayed or whatever, but I still felt like it wasn't, just wake up. In that sense, I would just wake up and pray, and then and I'm done. But then I felt like sometimes when, like I mentioned, when God calls you for that adventure or the season, it's more like a time for you to also build that relationship with him as well, because it's more like you learn how to pray, you learn to understand him more. And I think prayer also is a way of understanding him more as well, his doings and everything. Like, yeah, so I just want to say, like, just pray. Even when you are having tough time, just pray. Trust in him. Trust is the only thing that he always requires from us. So yeah.